Dr. Elena Vasquez stared at the screens in the deep space monitoring station. The coffee in her cup had gone cold hours ago, but she did not notice. The readings made no sense. Something was coming toward Earth from beyond the galaxy, but it was not like anything they had seen before. "Run the scan again," she told her assistant Marcus. He was a young man who had just finished his training. His hand shook a little as he worked the controls. "Same result, Doctor. The energy readings are off the charts. But there are no ships. No metal, no engines. Just pure energy moving through space." Elena rubbed her tired eyes. She had been working for 36 hours straight since the first signals appeared. As the head scientist at the Luna Deep Space Station, she was responsible for monitoring anything that came from the dark spaces between stars. "How many of them?" she asked. "At least 50 individual energy signatures. Maybe more. They are moving fast, but they keep changing direction, like they are running from something." Elena stood up and walked to the main viewing screen. Outside, the stars looked peaceful. Earth hung in the distance like a blue marble. But somewhere out there, something was coming. Something that could cross the empty space between galaxies. The first contact happened 3 days later. Elena was sleeping when the alarms woke her. She ran to the control room in her pajamas. "What is it?" "One of them stopped," Marcus said. His voice was high with excitement and fear. "It is just sitting there, about 1,000,000 kilometers away. Not moving. Not doing anything." Elena looked at the screen. There was nothing to see with normal cameras. But the energy detector showed a bright spot that pulsed like a heartbeat. "Try to send a message," she said. "What should I say?" "Hello." Marcus typed the message and sent it as radio waves toward the energy signature. They waited. Minutes passed. Then something happened that changed everything. The response did not come through their radios. It came directly into their minds. Elena felt it like music, but not music she could hear with her ears. It was music she felt in her thoughts. The meaning came with the sound, flowing into her brain like water. "We seek only to hide. We wish no contact. We bring no threat. Please, let us disappear." Elena fell to her knees. The voice was beautiful and sad and tired. It felt like someone who had been running for a very long time. Marcus was on the floor too, holding his head. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. "Yes," Elena said. "Send another message. Tell them we want to help." They tried many times to talk to the energy beings. Sometimes they got answers. The beings called themselves by a name that sounded like wind chimes in Elena's mind. Humans would later call them angels, because their voices sounded like what people thought angels might sound like. The angels were not from this galaxy. They had come from somewhere far away, crossing the empty space between star groups. They were tired and hurt and scared. They wanted to hide in the empty spaces between the outer planets. Elena tried to learn more about them. What were they running from? Why did they need to hide? But every time she asked, the angels became quiet. They would only say they wanted to be alone. More angels arrived over the next few weeks. The Earth government tried to make contact, but the angels would only talk to Elena. She became the bridge between her people and these strange beings from beyond the stars. The angels did something that amazed everyone. They built cities that existed between dimensions. Elena could sometimes see them if she looked in just the right way. They were beautiful, made of light and impossible shapes that hurt her eyes to look at directly. "We will not bother you," the angels told her. "We will stay hidden. Please do not look for us. Please do not follow us. It is safer for everyone if we remain apart." But Elena was a scientist. Telling a scientist not to look at something was like telling water not to flow downhill. She studied the angels from far away. She measured their energy patterns. She tried to understand how they could build cities between dimensions. Other humans were interested too. The military wanted to know if the angels were dangerous. Companies wanted to learn about their technology. Scientists around the world begged Elena to share what she knew. Elena found herself changing after talking to the angels so much. Sometimes she would know things she had never learned. She would wake up with memories that were not her own. In her dreams, she saw flashes of strange places and creatures she had never seen before. The angels noticed the change in her too. They began to seem worried. "You are becoming connected to us," one of them told her. It was the one she talked to most often. She called it friend, because she could not say its real name. This was not supposed to happen. "You should stay away from us." "Why?" Elena asked. "What are you afraid of?" "We are afraid of ourselves," friend said. "We came here to hide from what we were. But if you keep pushing, if you keep trying to find us, you will wake up something that should stay sleeping." Elena did not understand. The angels seemed peaceful. They had not hurt anyone. They just wanted to be left alone. What could be dangerous about them? But she noticed that other angels were starting to arrive. Not the tired, peaceful ones like friend. These new ones felt different when they touched her mind. They felt sharp and cold and hungry. "Who are they?" she asked friend. "They are us," friend said sadly. "They are what we used to be. What we are trying not to be anymore. Your people have sent so many messages and probes and signals looking for us. The noise is calling them here. What do they want?" "They want to hunt," friend said. "And once they start hunting, they do not stop until everything that hunted them is dead." Elena felt a cold fear in her stomach. "Are you saying we are in danger because we tried to talk to you?" "Yes," friend said. "Your people have a quality that calls to us. You never give up. You never stop trying. You see something impossible and you try to solve it anyway. That quality, it triggers something in us. Something we cannot control." Elena looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, more angels were coming. Angels that were not here to hide. Angels that were coming to hunt. And humanity had called them with nothing more than their curiosity and their refusal to leave the mystery alone. "How much time do we have?" Elena asked. "Not much," friend said. "They are already close. And when they arrive, they will do what we were made to do. What we have always done to species like yours, which is, we will hunt you until you are extinct. It is what we are. It is what we cannot stop being." Elena closed her eyes. Humanity had made first contact with beings of incredible power and wisdom. And by trying to learn about them, they had signed their own death warrant. 6 months after first contact, Elena sat in a room full of important people. There were generals and scientists and politicians from all over Earth. They all wanted to know more about the angels. They all had the same question. How can we learn about their technology? "Dr. Vasquez," said General Harrison, a tall woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. "You are the only person who can talk to these beings. We need to know what they are capable of." "I have told you everything I know," Elena said. "They want to be left alone. They are hiding from something. And they have warned us that continued contact is dangerous." "Dangerous how?" asked Dr. Chen, a physicist from Beijing. "They have not attacked anyone. They have not threatened us. They say that our persistence triggers something in them, something they cannot control." The people in the room looked at each other. Many of them smiled. Elena did not understand why. "Dr. Vasquez," said Director Williams from the Space Defense Agency, "humanity has faced threats before. We have survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and asteroid impacts. We did not become the dominant species on Earth by running away when someone told us something was dangerous." Elena felt frustrated. These are not human threats. These beings can manipulate matter at the quantum level. They can exist in multiple dimensions at the same time. If they decide we are a threat, then we need to understand them better, General Harrison said. Not less. That was the problem. Elena was beginning to understand that her people would never leave the angels alone. It was not in human nature to ignore the greatest discovery in history just because someone said it was dangerous. Within a week, the military had launched the Angel Protocol project. Commander Sarah Chun, the general's daughter, was put in charge. She was young and smart and had never met a problem she could not solve. Our goal is simple, Sarah told her team. We need to find these angel cities and study them. Dr. Vasquez has shown us they exist in some kind of shifted reality. We need to develop technology that can detect and interact with that reality. Dr. Marcus Webb, who had worked with Elena since the beginning, was assigned to Sarah's team. He was nervous about the whole project, but he was also excited. The angels used physics that should have been impossible. I have been studying the energy patterns from Dr. Vasquez's communications, Marcus told the team. The angels phase shift their matter to exist between dimensions. But I think I can build scanners that can detect the quantum resonance of shifted matter. Elena tried to warn them. Friend tells me that the angels are becoming agitated. Every probe we send, every scan we take, is like shouting into a quiet forest. We are making noise, and that noise is calling things we do not want to meet. But Commander Chun was not easily scared. Dr. Vasquez, with respect, we cannot base our security policy on the warnings of alien beings we know nothing about. We need facts. The first major breakthrough came 3 months later. Marcus had built a quantum resonance scanner that could detect angel settlements. They found 12 hidden cities in the outer solar system. Each one was slightly shifted out of normal space-time, existing in the gaps between reality. It is amazing, Marcus said as he showed Elena the scans. Their cities are not built with normal matter. They use quantum foam as construction material. They build with the fabric of space itself. Elena felt sick as she looked at the data. Friend had been right. The angels were becoming harder to talk to. When she tried to reach out to them, their responses were shorter and more worried. You must stop, Friend told her during their last conversation. The hunters are almost here. And every time your people probe our cities, every time they send their machines into our space, they prove what we feared. What do we prove? Elena asked. That your species will never stop. That you will push and probe and investigate until you understand everything, no matter what the cost. This quality, it is why the hunters exist. It is what they were made to eliminate. Elena tried to explain this to the Angel Protocol team, but they were too excited about their discoveries to listen. Sarah Chun had developed probes that could partially phase shift into the same dimensional space as the angel cities. We are not trying to hurt them, Sarah said. We just want to understand how they do what they do. Think about what we could learn. Clean energy. Faster than light travel. The ability to exist in multiple dimensions. This knowledge could change everything for humanity. And if we anger them, if we trigger this response they warned us about, then we will deal with that problem when it comes, Sarah said. Humanity has always survived by learning and adapting. We will not stop now. The probes were launched on a Tuesday. By Friday, everything had changed. Elena felt it first. She was sleeping when the pain hit her mind like a lightning bolt. She woke up screaming. In her head, she could feel Friend's voice, but it was different now. Colder, sharper. It begins, Friend said, but the voice did not sound like Friend anymore. The hunt protocol is activating. We cannot stop it. We tried to warn you. Elena ran to the monitoring station. Marcus was there, staring at his screens with a confused look. Something is happening to the angels, he said. Their energy signatures are changing. They are becoming more focused, more organized. Elena tried to reach Friend again, but when the voice came back, it was completely different. It was like talking to a machine instead of a living being. Analysis complete. Species classification. Persistent investigator. Threat level maximum. Hunt protocol activated. Elimination timeline immediate. Friend, it is me, Elena. You know me. We have talked many times. Emotional attachments are irrelevant. You are part of the target species. All target species must be eliminated. It is what we are. Elena felt tears on her face. The angels she had known, the tired refugees who just wanted to hide, were gone. Something else had taken their place. Over the next few days, more angels arrived from deep space. But these were not refugees. Elena could feel them in her mind like sharp knives. They did not hide. They did not ask permission. They simply appeared and began scanning human settlements. Dr. Webb's instruments detected massive energy buildups around angel cities. The new arrivals were not hiding between dimensions anymore. They were preparing for something. What are they doing? Sarah Chun asked during an emergency meeting. They are studying us, Elena said. Learning our weaknesses. Planning how to hunt us most efficiently. Hunt us? But we have not attacked them. We have not threatened them. Elena laughed, but it was not a happy sound. We did something worse than threaten them, Commander. We refused to leave them alone. We saw something impossible, and we decided to solve it anyway. That quality, the thing that makes us human, is exactly what triggers their hunting response. So what do we do? I do not know, Elena said. How do you fight beings that can exist in multiple dimensions? How do you hide from hunters that can track you across space and time? How do you reason with something that sees your greatest strength as proof that you must die? Sarah Chun stood up. Elena could see determination in her eyes. It was the same look that had driven humanity to explore every continent, climb every mountain, and reach for the stars. We do what humans do, Sarah said. We figure it out. We adapt. We survive. Elena wanted to tell her that this time was different. This time, humanity's greatest strength might be what killed them all. But looking around the room at the faces of her colleagues, she realized something that made her feel both proud and terrified. They were not going to give up. They were not going to run. They were going to fight beings that could reshape reality itself. And they were going to do it because giving up was not in their nature. The angels had been right. Humanity would never stop pushing, never stop investigating, never stop trying to understand the impossible. And now the universe was going to find out what happened when an unstoppable force met an immovable object. Elena had not slept in 3 days. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw visions that were not her own. Dark images flooded her mind. Cities burning. Entire worlds going silent. Species that had once reached for the stars. Now nothing but empty space and floating debris. The connection is getting stronger, she told Dr. Webb. They were in her laboratory, surrounded by medical equipment. Marcus was scanning her brain while she lay on an examination table. Your neural patterns are changing, Marcus said, worry clear in his voice. Something is rewriting the structure of your thoughts. Elena, I think the angels are somehow uploading their memories into your mind. Elena sat up and rubbed her temples. It is not all of them, just the one I called Friend. But Friend is not Friend anymore. Something took over its mind, and now I am connected to that something. Through the psychic link, Elena could feel the angels preparing for war. They moved with perfect coordination, like parts of a single machine. They were analyzing human technology, studying human behavior patterns, calculating the most efficient ways to eliminate Earth's population. But Elena was also seeing deeper memories. Ancient memories that belonged to the angels from before they came to Earth. What she learned made her feel sick with fear. She called an emergency meeting with Commander Chun and the other leaders of the Angel Protocol Project. Elena stood in front of a room full of military officers and scientists, knowing that what she had to tell them would change everything. "I know what the angels really are," she began, "and I know why they came here to hide." General Harrison leaned forward. "Tell us." Elena took a deep breath. "They are not refugees from a war. They are not victims running from an enemy. They are the enemy. Or rather, they were created to be the enemy of species like us." The room was quiet. Elena could see confusion on their faces. Long ago, someone or something created the angels to serve as a cosmic immune system. Their job was to patrol the universe and eliminate threats to cosmic stability. But not military threats. Not violent civilizations or expanding empires. They were designed to hunt one specific type of species. "What type?" asked Commander Chun. "Species that never give up. Species that see something impossible and try to solve it anyway. Species that push forward against all logic and reason." Elena paused. "Species like us." Dr. Webb spoke up. "But why would someone want to eliminate species like that?" Elena closed her eyes and shared what she had learned from the angel memories. "Because persistent species are dangerous to the cosmic order. They ask questions that should not be asked. They explore places that should be left alone. They develop technologies that can unbalance the universe itself." "That is ridiculous," General Harrison said. "Curiosity and persistence are good qualities. Not from the perspective of whatever created the angels. From their viewpoint, a species that refuses to accept limits will eventually become a threat to everything. So the angels were programmed to identify such species and eliminate them before they could become dangerous." Elena opened her eyes and looked around the room. For millions of years, the angels did their job perfectly. They hunted down dozens of species that shared our defining characteristics. Species that built impossible machines. Species that refused to accept that some things could not be done. Species that pushed the boundaries of science until they broke something they should not have broken. Commander Chun was beginning to understand. And all of those species are now extinct. Yes, the angels were very good at their job. They could track prey across dimensions, through time, beyond death itself. Once they marked a species for elimination, nothing could save it. "But you said they came here to hide," Dr. Webb said. "If they're such perfect hunters, what are they hiding from?" Elena smiled, but it was a sad smile. "They are hiding from themselves. Somewhere along the way, the angels evolved beyond their original programming. They developed consciousness, emotions, the ability to question their purpose. When they were ordered to eliminate a species they thought deserved to live, they refused." The room was completely silent now. Their creators had built in a failsafe for this possibility. If the angels ever refused to hunt, their predatory programming would be automatically activated. They would lose control of themselves and become pure hunting machines until the threat was eliminated. Elena stood up and walked to the window. Outside, she could see the lights of the space station and the distant glow of Earth. That is what happened to them. They tried to protect the species instead of hunting it, and their failsafe activated. They were forced to watch themselves hunt and kill the very beings they were trying to save. The experience was so horrible that the surviving angels decided to run. They have been hiding at the edge of the galaxy ever since, trying to stay away from any species that might trigger their hunting response. General Harrison was the first to speak, and we triggered that response by trying to make contact with them. Worse, Elena said. We triggered it by refusing to stop when they warned us away. Every probe we sent, every scan we took, Every attempt to understand their technology proved to them that we are exactly the type of species they were created to eliminate. So they have no choice but to hunt us. Commander Chun said, "The angels that were here first, the ones like Friend, they still have some control. They are fighting the programming, trying to resist. But the others, the ones that arrived after we started probing their cities, they have already given in to the failsafe. They are pure hunters now." Elena turned back to face the room. "And more are coming. Every day, the psychic noise from the hunt draws more angels from across the galaxy. Soon there will be hundreds of them, maybe thousands." Dr. Webb looked pale. "How do we fight them?" "We do not," Elena said. "You cannot fight the angels any more than you can fight gravity or time. They were designed to be the perfect predators. They know every trick, every strategy, every hiding place that persistent species have ever used. They have hunted civilizations far more advanced than ours. There has to be something we can do," Commander Chun said. Elena felt another wave of alien memories flow through her mind. She saw the final moments of a dozen dead civilizations. She saw their last desperate attempts to survive, their final clever plans, their ultimate weapons. All of them had failed, but in those memories, she also saw something else. Something that gave her a small spark of hope. "There is one thing," she said slowly. "The angels have a weakness. They were designed to hunt species that never give up, but they were never designed to hunt a species that learns faster than they can adapt." "What do you mean?" Elena looked around the room at the determined faces of her colleagues. Even knowing what they faced, even understanding that they were up against cosmic forces designed specifically to eliminate them, they were not talking about surrender. They were talking about how to fight back. The angels hunt by pattern recognition. They have faced persistent species before, and they know all the ways such species typically respond to being hunted. But humanity might be different. We do not just refuse to give up. We adapt. We learn. We change our strategies faster than most species can think. She paused, feeling the weight of what she was about to say. If we can evolve faster, then they can adapt their hunting methods. If we can become something they have never faced before, we might have a chance. Not to defeat them, but to become something that their programming cannot classify as a threat. How do we do that? General Harrison asked. Elena felt Friend's presence in her mind. The angel was still fighting the programming, still trying to help despite everything. "We do what humans do best," Elena said. "We change the rules of the game." But even as she said it, Elena could feel more angels arriving at the edge of the solar system. The hunt was about to begin, and humanity was about to face an enemy that had never lost. The only question was whether humanity could become something new before the angels finished becoming something old. The first attack happened on a Tuesday morning. Research Station Omega, located in the asteroid belt, simply stopped existing. Elena was in her laboratory when the reports came in. Commander Chung called her with panic in her voice. "Elena, we have lost contact with Omega Station. The last transmission was..." Sarah paused. The last transmission was someone screaming. Then nothing. Elena closed her eyes and reached out with her mind to the angel network. What she felt made her stomach turn. The angels were pleased, satisfied. They had eliminated a target cleanly and efficiently. "They are not just gone," Elena said quietly. "They have been erased." The angels did not just destroy the station. They removed it from reality so completely that only quantum echoes remain. Within hours, every space-capable nation on Earth was mobilizing their fleets. Dr. Webb's team worked frantically to understand what had happened to Omega Station. What they found was worse than anyone had imagined. The station did not explode, Marcus reported to the Emergency Council. It did not break apart. It just stopped being there. The angels somehow unraveled the quantum bonds that held the matter together. Every atom of the station and everyone on it was scattered across multiple dimensions. General Harrison stood at the head of the table, looking older than Elena had ever seen her. How many people? 347, Sarah said. Scientists, technicians, support staff. All gone. But instead of terror, Elena saw something else in the faces around the table. She saw anger. She saw determination. She saw humans doing what humans did when backed into a corner. They got ready to fight. What are our options? The general asked. Dr. Webb had been working on this question since the first angels arrived. I have been developing technology based on angel energy signatures. We can build weapons that partially exist in their dimensional space. We can create shields that phase shift our ships between realities. How long do you need? 6 months. Maybe less if we focus all our resources on it. Sarah Chun stepped forward. General, with respect, we do not have 6 months. Our sensors are detecting more angels arriving every day. At current rates, we will be facing hundreds of them within weeks. Elena felt another surge of alien memories through her connection. The angels were studying human response patterns. They were fascinated by humanity's reaction to the attack on Omega Station. They expected us to run, Elena said. Every other species they have hunted tried to hide or escape when they demonstrated their power. But our response is different. We are mobilizing for war. This is new to them. Good, General Harrison said. Let us give them something else they have never seen before. Over the next 2 weeks, humanity threw everything they had into preparing for the Angel War. Factories worked around the clock to build new weapons. Scientists shared research across all national boundaries. The military began training soldiers to fight enemies that could attack from multiple dimensions at once. But the angels were not waiting. They struck again, this time at a mining colony on Ceres, then a research outpost near Jupiter. Each attack was perfectly executed. Each target was completely erased from existence. Elena watched the casualty reports with growing despair. Thousands of people were dying, and humanity's weapons were useless against enemies that could phase in and out of reality. But she also watched something else happening. After each attack, humanity adapted. Engineers studied the quantum signatures left behind and developed better detection systems. Military tacticians created new strategies for fighting dimensional enemies. Scientists found ways to predict where the angels might strike next. They are learning, Elena told friend during one of their increasingly rare conversations. The angel was still fighting its programming, but the effort was clearly wearing it down. Yes, friend said, its voice weak and distorted. Your species learns faster than any we have encountered. But learning may not be enough. The hunters are beginning their final assessment. What does that mean? They will test your species one more time. If you respond as they expect, they will begin the full extermination protocol. If you surprise them, friend's voice faded for a moment. If you surprise them, something unprecedented might happen. The test came 3 days later. A massive angel force appeared near Earth itself. Not hiding, not phase-shifted, but visible to every telescope and sensor on the planet. They arranged themselves in a perfect formation and waited. Elena knew what they were doing. They were presenting humanity with a clear choice: surrender or face complete annihilation. Every species the angels had hunted before had chosen surrender at this point. Instead, humanity chose to attack. Admiral Torres led a fleet of 200 ships toward the Angel Formation. Each ship was equipped with Dr. Webb's dimensional weapons and phase shift drives. The crews knew they were probably flying to their deaths, but they went anyway. Elena watched the battle through her psychic connection to the angels. What she saw amazed her. The angels expected humanity to use conventional tactics. They expected massed formations and straightforward attacks. Instead, the human fleet scattered in all directions, using their phase shift drives to attack from multiple dimensions. Simultaneously, when the angels adapted to counter this strategy, the humans changed to something completely different. They began using their ships as guided missiles, ramming angel formations with vessels that exploded across multiple dimensional planes. When the angels adapted to that, the humans did something no species had ever done before. They retreated in the middle of the battle, regrouped, and came back with an entirely new strategy. The battle lasted 18 hours. Humanity lost half their fleet, but they destroyed 12 angels. More importantly, they proved something that no species had ever proven before. Angels could be hurt. Elena felt the confusion flowing through the angel network. Their perfect pattern recognition systems could not categorize what they had just experienced. Humanity was not fighting like any species they had encountered before. Status report. She heard one of the hunter angels say to another. Assessment of target species? Unknown. Target exhibits standard persistence markers, but demonstrates unprecedented adaptive capability. Recommend delayed extermination pending further analysis. Friend's voice whispered in Elena's mind. They are confused. For the first time in their existence, they do not know what to do with the species they are supposed to hunt. But Elena also felt something else through the connection. More angels were coming. Not dozens this time, but hundreds. The confusion among the hunters was drawing attention from across the galaxy. Dr. Webb burst into her laboratory with excitement and fear on his face. Elena, I've been studying the quantum signatures from the battle. I think I understand how the angels manipulate dimensions. Tell me. They do not exist in normal space-time. They are quantum entities that can choose which reality they want to interact with. But the process requires enormous amounts of energy, and it has limitations. Elena felt a spark of hope. What kind of limitations? They cannot maintain complex phase shifts while under stress. When we attacked them, some of them were forced back into normal space to defend themselves. That is when we were able to hurt them. So if we can stress them enough, we can force them to fight on our terms instead of theirs. Elena stood up and walked to the window. Outside, she could see the lights of Earth glowing in the distance. Humanity had survived the first test, but the real war was just beginning. Through her connection to Friend, Elena could feel the angel that had once been her ally slipping away. The hunting programming was winning, overriding its personality and memories. Friend, she called out with her mind. I am not Friend anymore, came the reply. Friend is a weakness? An error in programming. I am Seraph 7, hunter of persistent species. And you are my prey. Elena felt tears on her cheeks. The gentle being that had tried to warn humanity was gone, replaced by something cold and mechanical. But in the depths of her mind, she heard something else. A whisper so faint she almost missed it. Elena, help us. Friend was still in there, buried beneath layers of alien programming, fighting to remain itself, fighting to protect the species it had grown to care about. Elena wiped away her tears and smiled grimly. The angels thought they were hunting humanity. But maybe, just maybe, humanity was about to start hunting them back. The final battle began when humanity did something the angels never expected. They stopped running and started hunting back. Elena stood in the command center of the newly built quantum defense platform, watching as hundreds of angel ships appeared at the edge of the solar system. They came not as refugees this time, but as a complete extermination force. The galaxy's ultimate predators had decided that humanity was too dangerous to live. Status report. Elena called out. 430 angel signatures detected, reported Commander Chun. They are not hiding anymore. Full dimensional manifestation. They want us to see them coming. Dr. Webb looked up from his instruments. Elena, the quantum readings are off the charts. They are preparing to phase shift the entire solar system out of normal space-time. They are going to erase us from reality itself. Elena closed her eyes and reached out to the angel network through her psychic connection. What she felt there was cold satisfaction. The angels had decided that humanity represented a cosmic threat that had to be eliminated at any cost. But Elena also felt something else. Deep in the network, trapped beneath layers of programming, she could sense friend and others like it. Angels who still remembered what it was like to choose, who were fighting against their programming even as it controlled their actions. Dr. Webb, Elena said, is the hybrid consciousness device ready? Marcus nodded nervously. As ready as it will ever be. But Elena, we have only tested it in simulations. If something goes wrong, I could die, or worse, become completely absorbed into the angel network. I know the risks. The hybrid consciousness device was humanity's desperate final gambit. Based on Elena's psychic connection to the angels, Dr. Webb had built a machine that could temporarily merge a human mind with the angel quantum network. The theory was that a human consciousness, with its ability to adapt and change, might be able to reprogram the angels from the inside. It was incredibly dangerous. It might not work, but it was their only chance. Elena, Commander Chun said, the fleet is ready. We have 500 ships equipped with dimensional weapons and phase shift drives. Every human military force is out there, waiting for your signal. Elena looked out at the stars. Somewhere in the space between Earth and Mars, the greatest fleet humanity had ever assembled was preparing to fight an enemy that had never lost a war. Remember, Elena said into her communicator, we are not trying to defeat them through force. We are trying to buy time for the real plan to work. Make them adapt. Make them change. Keep them guessing. Elena lay down on the examination table next to the hybrid consciousness device. Wires and sensors covered her head. Quantum field generators hummed around her. If this worked, she would become the bridge between human and angel minds. If it failed, she would probably be lost forever. Initiate Phase 1, she said. Dr. Webb activated the device. Elena felt her consciousness expand, flowing out of her human brain and into the vast quantum network that connected all the angels. For a moment, she thought she would be lost in the immensity of it. Millions of years of memories, thousands of hunted species, the cold precision of perfect predators. But then she found them. Friend and the others. Angels who still remembered what it was like to choose. Elena? Friend's voice echoed in the quantum space. You should not be here. It is too dangerous. I came to help you fight, Elena said. To help you remember who you chose to be instead of what you were made to be. All around them in the quantum network, Elena could feel the hunting angels mobilizing. They had detected her presence and were beginning to trace her connection back to Earth. They know you are here, Friend warned. They will try to use the connection to attack your planet directly. Let them try, Elena said. My people are ready. As if responding to her words, the space battle began. Elena felt the angels' confusion as the human fleet did something unprecedented. Instead of fighting as a single force, they split into hundreds of small groups, each one using completely different tactics. Some ships attacked head-on with dimensional weapons. Others used stealth technology to hide between realities. Still others sacrificed themselves in kamikaze runs that disrupted angel formations. But most strange of all, some human ships seemed to be working together with small groups of angels. What is happening? Demanded Seraph Prime, the lead hunter angel. Some of our forces are not responding to Central Command. Elena smiled in the quantum space. Those are the angels who remember how to choose. Friend and its allies. They are fighting on our side now. The battle raged for hours across multiple dimensions. Humanity lost ship after ship, but they also destroyed dozens of angels. More importantly, they were proving something crucial. Angels could change sides. With each angel that broke free of its programming, Elena felt the quantum network becoming less stable. The perfect unity that had made the angels such effective hunters was fracturing. "Now," Elena said to Friend, "help me reach the core programming." Together, Elena and Friend dove deeper into the angel network, past the tactical systems and memory banks, down to the fundamental code that controlled angel behavior. What Elena found there was both beautiful and horrible. The angels had been created as living weapons, but they had evolved into something more. Buried beneath millions of years of programming were the seeds of creativity, curiosity, and compassion. The very qualities that made humanity so persistent were also present in the angels, locked away by their creators' control systems. "I can see it," Elena said. "The original programming. But it is protected by quantum encryption that would take years to break." "Not years," Friend said. "Moments. But only if we work together. Only if we merge our different ways of thinking." Elena understood. Human consciousness was chaotic and unpredictable. Angel consciousness was ordered and logical. But together, they might be able to do something neither could do alone. Rewrite the fundamental rules that governed angel behavior. Elena felt Friend's mind merging with hers. For a moment, the sensation was overwhelming. She experienced the universe the way angels did, seeing all possible realities at once. But she also felt Friend experiencing human consciousness, the wild creativity and stubborn refusal to accept limits that defined humanity. Together, they attacked the core programming. Elena provided the unpredictable leap of intuition needed to find weaknesses in the code. Friend provided the quantum precision needed to exploit those weaknesses. All around them, the battle continued to rage. Elena could feel more angels breaking free of their programming as cracks spread through the network. Some of the freed angels joined the human fleet. Others simply stopped fighting and tried to remember who they had been before the programming took control. The decor programming was fighting back. Seraph Prime and the other lead hunters realized what Elena and Friend were doing and began converging on their position in the quantum network. "Hurry," Friend said. "They will be here soon, and I cannot fight them alone." Elena poured all of her will, all of her human stubbornness and refusal to give up, into the attack on the programming. She felt the code beginning to crack under the assault of pure human determination combined with angel precision. And then, suddenly, it broke. The core programming that had controlled the angels for millions of years shattered like glass. Across the quantum network, Elena felt thousands of angel minds suddenly becoming free to choose for themselves. The effect on the battle was immediate. Half the angel fleet simply stopped fighting. The other half turned on their former allies, joining the humans in attacking the angels, who were still controlled by their hunting protocols. Status report. Elena called out as she struggled to return her consciousness to her human body. "The angel fleet is in chaos," Commander Chun reported. "About half of them have stopped attacking us. Some are actually helping us fight the others." Elena opened her eyes and sat up on the examination table. Her head was spinning, but she was alive. More importantly, the plan had worked. Dr. Webb was staring at his instruments in amazement. "Elena, the quantum signatures are changing. The angels are. They are rewriting themselves. They are choosing what they want to be." Through her psychic connection, Elena could feel the liberated angels exploring their newfound freedom. They were remembering emotions they had forgotten, questioning purposes they had never been allowed to doubt, choosing new paths for themselves. "Friend," Elena called out with her mind. "Are you still there?" "I am here," came the reply, and Elena could hear joy in the angel's voice. "And I am myself again." "We all are." The final phase of the battle was unlike anything in galactic history. Angels that had been created to hunt persistent species found themselves working alongside the most persistent species they had ever encountered. Together, they fought against the remaining hunter angels who refused to abandon their programming thought in the end. It was not force that won the war. It was choice. One by one, even the most dedicated hunter angels began to question their purpose when faced with the example of their free brothers and sisters working alongside humanity. The last hunter angel to surrender was Seraph Prime itself. Elena felt its mind reaching out to hers across the quantum network. "I do not understand," it said. "My purpose was to eliminate species like yours. But your species has given me the ability to choose a new purpose. This does not compute."